Today is Friday, April 17th, 2026, and I'm here to talk about new releases, specifically a few that were released today and about 9 new release announcements or new singles from records I think are worth checking out. First up is Blind in Abyssal Realms. This is the debut full-length album from Ord. This is a death metal band, a progressive death metal band from people who were formerly involved in progressive sludge metal. They have a little bit of a different take on this style, and it is both old school in some of its approach, but also something a little bit different. Check that out if you like that atmospheric and progressive type of kind of rock-informed progressive death metal with a little bit more of its own edge. Second here is Ignobless Manner of Primitive Anti-Creation. This is a blackened bestial death metal band, one that creates quite a lot of havoc on this record. It's very entertaining. A lot more praise in the review if you want to read that. And third, we have the latest album from Finnish symphonic black metal band Vargrav. Dimension Daemonium is one of their best. I would say it's a good follow-up to maybe the second one. It's not as ambitious as the third, but it still has a lot of the kind of the lessons they learned from that. There's some great melodic black metal on this record, especially the final song. I think it's well worth checking out and buying. As for new release announcements, we have Italian death metal band TOMBAL's debut EP Grave of the Damned releasing here pretty soon on Blood Harvest and Unholy Domains. This is a Swedish style death metal band and one that you'll recognize what they're all about as soon as this plays. It's a short EP. It's sort of a precursor to a full-length they promised to finish by the end of the year, and that'll also be on Blood Harvest, so check this song out. Osmos Productions have announced April 24th for the release date of the latest and kind of long-awaited new release from Swedish black thrash metal band BEWITCHED. This was maybe a band that got a little bit more widespread notice early on in this style, in this area, and they're still pretty good. I've listened to the whole thing today, just briefly kind of flipped through it, but I don't think they're going to put out any songs for preview until the 24th, so check it out then. Nuclear Winter Records have announced, I think, 3 great albums already. I've listened to all of them so far, stoked on all of them. Consecration was announced a couple weeks ago, and I didn't cover that. But in this last week, they've announced 2 new ones. And the first one I'll talk about here is Rotten Tomb's third full-length album, Vestiges of Tortured Souls. This will release on June 6th. On all available formats, and they're promising something that takes on a little bit more melody this time around. So check that out for yourself, gauge what you think with this new song, Mortified. To release on the same day as Rotten Tomb's record is another Chilean death metal band, GODLESS's latest full-length album, Adversus Perusia, which I think had already won me over just with the album cover. I have a bunch of their albums on tape. I think Crypts of Eternity sent me a few of them, so I'm really familiar with this band and their back discography, so I'm really looking forward to talking about this one. For now, check out the first single, Omega Omnipotens, Hosanna in Nullificatio. I think the biggest problem that Houston, Texas death metal band HASEROT have with this debut full-length album is that their logo kind of sucks. Otherwise, it's a pretty good Swedish death metal influenced album with great lead guitars from Redefining Darkness, and this is going to release here pretty soon in the near future in July. So for now, check out the song Poverty of Thought. Brazilian progressive post-metal band LONESHORE have announced that they've joined Willowtip Records and released their second full-length album, Nothing Left to Deconstruct, on June 19th. I'm not at all familiar with this band, and I didn't really consider it post-metal when I heard a clip of it, but it makes sense from the description and listening to the full album. The first single, Parhelion, shows a little bit of kind of an extreme metal influence, of course, but they're kind of all over the place on this album, and most of it is pretty impressive. Don't know if I'll review it, not really my style, but I wanted to mention it. Granted, it was a slow couple of weeks for news that I was interested in. There wasn't a lot that I really felt like talking about here, and I think Ingested's latest full-length Denigration is close enough. It's releasing on May 8th. It's a British technical death metal band, definitely heavily influenced by brutal death metal, deathcore, and whatnot. On this song here, Watch You Fold, they've got a guest appearance from John Gallagher of Dying Fetus, who it seems like he wrote his own lyrics on this song, but I don't know if you're going to notice that as much as the weird as hell snare sound on this, the way that it comes into this song. Interesting choice for just sound design. I think that's more interesting than most anything I've heard in this realm in a while. Transcending Obscurity Records have announced a July 10th release date for Danish dissonant death metal band DYSGNOSTIC's latest full-length album, And Whispers. This is a follow-up to an album I didn't really like very much, but this one sounds quite a bit better. It looks like they put a lot more effort into finding more interesting nuance, and they say as much in the press release. So I'd say actually a pretty interesting song. Don't like the album art very much, but this is a pretty solid record based on previews. Check it out. And finally, we have an announcement for an atmospheric folk black metal band, DUIR, who are releasing their second full-length album, Catarsis, through AOP Records this coming June 26th. The new song, Impito, features, I believe, the vocalist of Elend, and it's kind of in the expected sort of melodic, modern style that the record label typically puts out. Nothing that special about this. I just thought the video was ambitious and interesting. I don't like the glow-in-the-dark performative thing that black metal bands do anymore. I don't really care about their stage presence, but it's some extra effort that they put into it, and I thought that was better than the usual music video. Thanks for checking out some new releases with me this week. Go ahead and check out the website as well. We've got reviews for the new Immolation. A lot of people are talking about that. Some other great records. Otherwise, go read it.